Copyright History and Music Publishing Revenue Streams, Part 4. Now we're going to talk about mechanical royalties. A compulsory license is needed if the work has been recorded and distributed already. The statutory rate is 9.1 cents per composition up to 5 minutes or 1.75 cents per minute over 5 minutes long. The rates are set by the Copyright Royalty Board, the CRB. And you can secure the license directly from the publisher or a third-party company like Harry Fox, which is owned by SESAC now, or you can get it from the CMRRA in Canada or any other organizations in the respective countries. It's compulsory, meaning that once the recording has been recorded and distributed, anybody can record that song. The person who owns a song has the first right to record it and distribute it. But once they do that, anybody else can do that. They do need a license, a mechanical license for that, but that license is compulsory. And also there's mechanical royalties for international broadcasts as well. Also, a jukebox up until the 1976 copyright law was considered a toy, but in the 1976 Copyright Act, it was considered a real tool to distribute recordings. So now a license is required to have a jukebox, and performance royalties are paid as part of that. So covered in the 1976 Copyright Act, it defines it as coin-operated phonorecord player. It has to be non-dramatic work. So dramatic work is like an opera or a play or a musical, which involves a whole big thing with music and dialogue and scenes and all that stuff. That's a different category of music, and we're going to talk about those rights known as grand rights later. Right now we're referring to as small rights, which are the rights that we're talking about right now. And it needs to be located in an establishment not charging admission. And you can choose from a selection of music on that jukebox. The jukebox license office administers this, and same thing, it's compulsory. A license is needed, but it cannot be denied. And the cost right now is $516 for the first jukebox and $119 for each additional jukebox, or the amusement members organization AMOA pays $86 for each additional jukebox. And you can go to jukeboxlicense.org to see information about that. Synchronization. We're going to talk about cable and satellite royalties. Synchronization was covered in the 1976 Copyright Act. Licenses are not compulsory for synchronization, and we'll talk about why that is the case. You have to get permission from every copyright owner or anybody who owns any part of any song to be used in the synchronization of music with visual images. So they're not compulsory. However, cable TV rebroadcasts are compulsory. This is paid to the Copyright Royalty Board. Also, sync in television. Once again, you're syncing visual images with music. So there's sync in television. You have various types of television. You have free, you have basic cable, and you also have satellite. And of course, you have pay TV like HBO, Showtime. And also foreign theatrical and home video, TV theme songs. And even common carriers is, this is ships and planes and any trains, etc. Most deals in these sync deals are in perpetuity, meaning it lasts forever, and it's also throughout the universe, not the world, because if you say the world, that doesn't include satellites, and we have a lot of satellite broadcasts these days. The amount depends on who you are and the usage. There's different categories of the rates, and they're all negotiated. So if it's a very important piece of music that's by, a famous artist or composer, it's going to cost more money. And if it's a main feature in a movie or a television show, that's different than a background. And syndication can mean millions to the composer. These TV composers, successful TV composers, really, they make millions of dollars, because once they do one of these popular shows that are syndicated for years and years and translated into other languages, it just like is a forever revenue stream. A commercial, the old term for a commercial was known as a jingle. Usually commercials take existing songs that are in existence, and the money depends on what kind of coverage. There's local commercials and there are also national commercials. Most of these are work for hire, meaning the company who's presenting the commercial owns the music. So that tends to be how it works. Sync in movies, synchronization license must be secured for existing music from the publisher. Once again, you need the permission of everybody who owns a piece of that copyright. And then there's the master rights versus the publishing rights. A perfect example is I Will Always Love You. That song was written by Dolly Parton, but it was popularly performed by Whitney Houston. So Dolly Parton controls the publishing rights and Whitney Houston's record company controls the master rights. Usually, in most cases in television and movies, not all cases, but most cases, it's a work for hire agreement for new music. And the rates vary by the usage and importance of the song in the movie. And music supervisors determine the fees, and they're usually non-negotiable. In the old days, there were song pluggers that were pushing their songs to be used in movies and television, and there are still people who try to get them picked up because it's a lot of money for that. So you got to get to the music supervisors and convince them. And that's the end of part 4.